Good morning everybody, welcome back to Front Seat, and you're in for a treat today because this episode will feature not one but 3 cars. The first of the 3 is my Saab, which is due for an oil change and a spark plug change, which is very simple. The second one is my Toyota Starlet, which unfortunately failed its MOT this week, so we need to fix those points. It has to do with the leveling of the lights, which doesn't work anymore. This has been a problem for, well, many years actually, so I'm going to try to fix it for good. Hopefully that works. And the third car is not even mine, it's my sister's Daihatsu, which has a problem probably with a brake caliper that is sticking or something, I don't know yet. She's coming here well in a few hours, so yeah. First let's check up the Saab and reverse the oil. Hello everybody, this is me from the future. As I'm editing the videos now, it turned out to be a too long video to make it all in one piece, so today we're only going to do the Saab. And next time we're going to do the Starlet and the Daihatsu. So yeah, enjoy! As you can probably see, the underside of my Saab is quite oily. As you may also know, this car is due for an engine change because of some catastrophic engine damage. But it still runs, so as long as it runs I'm going to maintain it as good as I can, which includes an oil change. Okay, 13 millimeters. Fortunately, I let the car warm up for a little while, so the oil is nice and thin. Let's see if we can do this without spilling any oil. Yeah, kind of. Some nice black oil. 15,500 kilometers. We'll let it drain for a while. Let's put the plug back with a new copper washer. Now normally I would say we'll give the underside of the engine a good clean because of all this oil mess, but it doesn't really make sense on this engine. The oil leaks from absolutely everywhere, so it doesn't make any sense to clean it. This will probably start leaking immediately because that's what it does. Let's get the oil filter out of here. Okay. Oh, yep, there we go. Almost in my face. Let's see if we can do this delicately. Oh yes, oh yes. Now I'm very curious what's inside this oil filter, so I'm going to keep that for now. Let this drain for a little minute. Let's get the new filter. Made in China. Oh. What isn't? The thing with oil filters is you just turn it by hand as much as you can and then it's tight. Right, and now comes the nasty part of the oil change, which is putting the oil in an appropriate canister. But first let's see what's inside of this oil filter. The first few times I had this car and I did the oil change, I did have metal shavings, and quite a lot as well. But now I don't see them. And now this main canister, let's see. It's always tricky. Good thing that the oil is nice and thin. As it turned out, my GoPro died. So you missed the whole draining part and all the things I was saying about my car. But never mind, it's drained. So I'm just looking for shavings, and to be fair, there's some old gasket floating in there. There are a few little things and shavings maybe, but it's not too bad. But unfortunately it doesn't mean that this engine is healthy, because it isn't. I'm going to show you later. But yeah, I'm satisfied. Right, let's put some fresh oil in. This engine can take 3.5 liters of oil. So this is already 3 liters. Let's be sure about the 3.5 liter figure. 4 liters. Well, I'm just going to fill it up until it's full. And don't waste. Use every drop of oil you can get. Those dinosaurs didn't die for nothing. It's synthetic, but never mind. oil light went out, then it went on again, and then it went out again. So I think that's a good sign. In order to get to the spark plugs, you remove this DI cassette, which goes wrong every 80,000 kilometers. And it's very expensive, but you have to remove it. Under there are the spark plugs, and beneath the spark plugs, of course, we can look into the engine. So we're going to do that. Right. These are T30 screws. And they should be quite easy to remove. If not, the previous person who did this job did them up too tight. And also you should remove the plug of the DI cassette, which is over here, where you can see it, but I can. Just remove it. It's one of those weird connections like this, which you can pull and push. Just pull the DI cassette out. There we go. Now many people say you should keep it upright. I heard it was an old wise tale from another period where these cassettes were filled with fluid. They are not anymore, so you don't have to keep them upright, but I still do it because it gives me a good feeling. The spark plug should be removed and replaced every 10,000 miles or 15,000 kilometers with original NGK ones. What does it look like? Well, what I want to see is a little coffee brown, which it is. The electrode looks fine. It's a little bit black because I just started it and the engine was cold, so the spark plug isn't broken. There's no blow-by. So this still looks very good, but yeah, we have to replace it. This one is a little bit more black than the first one and a little bit less brown, but still it looks very good. As I was saying before the camera quit, this car is running on LPG, so you'll expect the plugs to be a little bit whiter, which they are after a long drive. But as I said, I just started the car, the engine was cold, so you expect a little bit more black spark plugs, just like this one. This one is even more blacker, but the rest of it looks fine. They're not worn out yet, but well, to stay out of trouble, let's just replace them. Now, cylinder 4 has always been a problem child. Even when a new engine was fitted, this engine, spark plug 4 always was very white. And it is now. Look at that. Look at the difference. This is way more white than the other ones. The other ones were brown, cappuccino-like. Ooh, I'd fancy a coffee. They are cappuccino-like, and this one is white. And for a long time I couldn't really work out why, but as it turns out, this is the cause. The gasket is leaking. And I already put a new gasket in there, and I think even another exhaust manifold was fitted, but still it doesn't shut all the way. But those are all problems that should go away if a new engine is fitted, so I'm not going to bother with it. I can drive the car, it's fine, just that the one plug is more white than the other one. So okay, let's look into the engine. Now, for this job I have this nice boroscope or endoscope. You can look into the cylinders like this, and then with a wheel you can turn the camera around, which is very nice. So I'm just going to stick that in cylinder 1, and I hope you can check with me. As it turns out, this cylinder is at top dead center. No, what I can see, maybe you can see it too. It's very hard to see for you, it's also very hard to see for me, but it seems like there are big scoring marks. Or am I wrong? Okay, let's move on to another cylinder. Now you can actually see the top of the cylinder, of the piston, sorry. Look at that. I always find this very nice to see. You can see the honing marks from when this engine was made. Those diagonal, like round shapes. This is what you want to see. But also over there, you see over there, oh, there's like a big flat spot here. I'm sorry if it's not really visible for you, but where all the honing marks are gone, or most of them, and this is where the cylinder is tilting. This is one of the reasons that this engine, well, has to be removed and replaced actually, because if this happens, a lot of the combustion gases will pass the piston and the piston rings and get into the oil pan, and there it causes, well, a higher pressure, which causes the engine to leak engine oil. Let's look at the other side. There's the piston again. Okay. And what you don't want to see, by the way, is these vertical marks. That's just damage. That's engine damage. You don't want to see that. Let's move on to the next one. In my memory, this one was even worse. Oh, by the way, you can also, if you turn the camera around, if possible, you can actually see the valves. Look. These are the valves. Look at that. Intake and exhaust. And also here you can see those vertical marks. But it's very nice to see the valves. I think this engine is also very old. I'm not sure what the mileage was when this engine was fitted, but I picked it up, and on the car it said 438,000 miles. Kilometers, sorry, which is about a little bit less than 300,000 miles. Since the engine was fitted in my car, the engine has run 200,000 kilometers, so yeah, this engine is very old. And I don't like throwing things away, so I will keep the engine as long as it's, well, decent. Let's head over to the first cylinder, or fourth cylinder. We cannot see anything, it's in top dead center. That's unfortunate. But yeah, now you've seen the catastrophic engine damage for which my engine has to be replaced. And then I thought, well, why not? Why not do a compression test? Just check the health of this very old engine. Damage report, 12 bars, 175 psi. Okay. Ah, right. Cylinder 4 is no longer in top dead center. So we can actually see inside of here. Wow, what's that? You see that? What's that? Wow. I don't know. That's also damage, I would say. Maybe it was pitted, corrosion maybe, sometimes. Cylinder, the piston looks a bit wet, but that's okay. Let's see the valves. There they are. Ooh! Look at the color of the... Or is it just the light? No, look at the color of the... I think it's the exhaust valves. Wow! That's white. They're not burnt. This is cylinder 1. Yeah. You see a reflection of the piston. This one actually looks quite good. Oh, apart from these scoring marks over there, but okay. Ah, nice. Nice, nice, nice. And the valves are open. Color is very nice. Yeah, good. People have a lot to say about Saabs, but they're actually quite reliable. You just have to maintain them properly, and they have a few faults, I admit, like the eye cassette, the fuel pump. There's a crankshaft position sensor, which always fails, but apart from that, they're quite bulletproof, guys. Yeah, and those little annoying plastic things like those pipes here, they always break. But apart from that, and many other things, they're very reliable. Okay, let's move on to compression testing cylinder 3. Well, 12 for 175 psi. If you're calculating in bald eagles. Cylinder 2. Ah, look at that. Also 12. Cylinder 1. Oh, that's a bit lower. I did not expect that. Let's try again. It's a little bit weird because usually cylinder 1 is the one with the highest compression. Like 14 or something. 14 bars. Ah, okay. Well, as it turns out, that's only 10 bars. Okay, so I'm keeping track of all the times I did the compression test. Last time was in December 2024. Cylinder 1 had a compression of 13.5 bars when it was cold and 13 when it was warm. So that's weird. So the compression has gone down quite a bit in the last year. And the engine had run 453,000 kilometers, which is, well, 32,000 less than now. Let's get the endoscope and check inside of this cylinder to see where the piston is. Ah, nice, it's all the way down. That's good. Yeah, piston looks, well, a bit clean actually. Way cleaner than the other ones. Let's see if we can find scoring marks. Yeah, well, a few, okay. Nothing too major for now. Huh. It doesn't look new, but it doesn't look too awful. Maybe this bit is a little bit worn. More worn than here. Let's check the valves. Hello, Mr. Valve. They're a little bit open or not. This one is open and this one seems to be not seating properly. Am I seeing that right? I'm not I'm not an expert on valves, but oh yeah, both of the, I think, exhaust valves are open. Oh, one of them is. Huh? Why is one open and the other one isn't? Oh no, they're both open. Yeah, okay. That scared me. So those valves are open. Although one of them seems more open than the other one. Huh. Let's turn the camera around. And this one, this is an intake valve. That doesn't look good at all. Look at the difference between the two. It looks as this one has gone all the way in. There's a name for it, but I don't know it in English. I'm going to look it up. Yeah, what I can find is smashed valves. I'm not sure if that's the correct translation, but okay. Let's say it's smashed valve. So I think one of the inlet valves is, well, smashed. I think, well, there's another reason to change the engine. There's one smashed valve. The compression of this cylinder has gone down from 13 to, well, less than 10 bars. So that's not good, but, well, the more you know. Okay, let's put some new spark plugs in and, well, just see how long this engine can keep on running. Okay, so I've got new spark plugs. I already gapped them to 0.8. Those are, by the way, the correct ones for this engine. BCP R7ES11, and the 11 stands for the electrode gap, which you should re-gap to 0.8 or 0.9 depending on your specific engine and tuning. New spark plugs in. Let's put it all back together and start it up. Okay, I checked the oil level, it's good. So the answer was 4 liters. Now it's time to start up the car. Yeah. Nice, it runs. Even with the low compression on cylinder 1. I must say, I didn't notice it while driving. By the way, now that the engine is cold, you can see how it spits out. You see how it's leaking there? Probably shouldn't rev the engine too much when it's cold. But okay, there we go. It'll have to be replaced anyway. So yeah, now the Saab is done. Let's get started. Oh man, I still love this car. I'm going to keep you good as long as possible, buddy. Alright guys, and as I said, we're only going to do the Saab today. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Next time we're going to do the Starlet and the Daihatsu, so I'll see you then.